remember, I've been telling you that policymakers are like doctors. You must do the understanding the disease and then get a prescription. Diagnosis, you must have the diagnosis. This is the vision we are talking about. What is the diagnosis of this society? What is their problem? In my speech recently in the NRM conference, I told you again what our analysis is. First of all, to involve the whole society into the money economy. Because Africa is 250 years behind Europe. In 1400, we were at the same level as Europe. But by the time of the French Revolution, because of the problems Africa had, Europe had metamorphosed where Africa was stagnant or even regressing. Because if you look at the French Revolution, 1789, which is 250 years ago, more or less, they already had 4 social classes: the feudalists, the middle class, the bourgeoisie, the working class, the proletariat, and the peasants. Here in Africa, in Uganda, we still had 3 classes that time: the feudalists, the artisans, and the farmers. We did not have a middle class. We did not have a skilled working class. By independence, we were worse off because the artisan class had been killed by the European imports. Because the artisan class was producing products for us. They were producing everything. In that society, there was no unemployment. The society before colonialism, there was no unemployment. There were emyoga, what I tell you, the skills, the blacksmith, the carpenter, But by 1962, all these were dead. Everything was coming from outside. Hoes, pangas, plates, what? So the artisan class had died, the feudal class had died, we were only with the peasants. So this is the analysis that you should, those who say they were planning should have been looking at. And that's what we have been looking at. And that's why we said, number one, the way we have done it, the 5 phases, which I don't want to repeat here. So this is number one, vision, and then integrity, no corruption. So in Africa, I have seen two problems. Neither vision nor corruption, no integrity. That's number one. Number two, if you think in the local way, you will think better. But I'm going to have a proverb. The month of September, this one we are entering into, in our language is called Nyakanga. Nyakanga, Yangembebo Munju. Okwanga is to refuse. So the month of September is the month of refusal. And what do you refuse? You should refuse that all the seeds are planted. You should have no seed in the house if you want to catch up with the season. Nyakanga is the month of when all the seeds should have been planted. But then they have a proverb. They say, Gariembebo, Gashikire Kiteme. The teeth of the unwise. Our people used to keep seeds. They would select seeds and keep them, hang them above the fireplace so that it remains well dehydrated and no mold. But when somebody would be hungry, he would cook the seeds and eat them. And when the time for planting, he has nothing to plant. The teeth with which he ate the seeds smiled at the garden. Katibanange nasimba kiwano. What will I plant? He laughs. So this is the problem of the African middle class. They don't understand saving. They eat the seeds. If you eat the seeds, what will you plant? It is better to be hungry and you starve yourself, but not eat the seeds, plant the seeds. You need to keep the seeds whatever happens. This is the message. Gariembebo, Gashikiri Kiteme. The teeth of the unwise eat the seeds and smile at the garden because they have nothing to plant. That is number 2, point 2. Number 3, Engumba versus Kuzara. I don't know whether these Ugandans understand these words. Engumba is a cow or a person that cannot give children. Okuzara. So therefore, when we have got the scarce resources, we should always see which projects are good, but they are Ngumba. They will not produce children quickly. And which ones will produce children quickly? In the planning, which will produce results. That's why, for instance, recently, we've been having a struggle about the PDM. We had to divert money to PDM to help the villagers join the money economy. And when they do that, production goes up. You still, of course, had other demands, like infrastructure. Yes, you can have a nice road, but you have nothing you are transporting on that road because there's no production. So that balancing between the results generating projects versus the ones which will either take long or not at all just for use